Hello and welcome back to a new video. Imagine this. You're flipping through photos of iconic faces, people you think you know, but today you're going to see them in a way you've never seen before. What if I told you that we're about to take a look at their final moments, captured in a single photo that tells a story of life, dreams, and legacy? This is more than just a collection of images. It's a tribute to their lives, an homage to their final chapter. This is the story of famous people in their last photo alive. On June 18, 2018, XXXTentacion, real name Jose Onfroy, visited Riva Motorsports in Pompano Beach, Florida. CCTV footage from that day shows him entering the dealership, followed shortly after by Dedrick Williams and Robert Allen. The men blocked his exit with a vehicle. Two masked men, Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsom, approached Jose and demanded his valuables. Despite his resistance, they fatally shot him and fled with a bag containing $50,000 in cash. The killers were eventually caught and sentenced as follows. Dedrick Williams, found guilty of first-degree murder and robbery with a firearm. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Michael Boatwright, found guilty of first-degree murder and robbery with a firearm. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Trayvon Newsom, found guilty of first-degree murder and robbery with a firearm. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Robert Allen pled guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for testifying against his co-defendants. He received a reduced sentence of 20 years in prison. This tragic event highlights the violent reality that sometimes shadows the lives of public figures. On September 30, 1955, the last photo of James Dean was taken at a gas station with his silver Porsche 550 Spider, which he affectionately called Little Bastard. Just hours later, Dean would meet his tragic end. James Dean was en route to a car race in Salinas, California, accompanied by his mechanic, Rolf Wutherick. Around 5:45 p.m. near Cholame, California, Dean's Porsche collided with a 1950 Ford Tudor, driven by Donald Turnipseed. Turnipseed was making a left turn onto Highway 41 when Dean's speeding car crashed nearly head-on into the Ford. The impact was devastating. Dean suffered fatal injuries, including a broken neck and massive internal trauma, and was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. On March 18, 1982, Randy Rhoads, the talented guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne, was seen in one of his last photos with fans after a concert in Knoxville, Tennessee. Just one day later, Rhoads, the tour bus driver and the team's makeup artist after arriving in Orlando, Florida, for a performance boarded a small plane. The plane's right wing hit the left side of the tour bus, causing the plane to crash into a nearby house. Rhoads died at the age of 25. The pilot, who was found to be under the influence of cocaine during the autopsy, and the Rachel Youngblood were also killed instantly. However, his legend lives on, and many concerts and albums have followed as tributes to Randy Rhoads. To this day, Rhoads is considered one of the most influential guitarists. On January 28, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster occurred. The spacecraft exploded just 73 seconds after launch due to a defect in one of the rocket booster's O-rings. This caused hot gases to escape and damage the fuel tank. As a result, all 7 crew members lost their lives. Francis Dick Scobie, commander; Michael J. Smith, pilot; Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Judith Resnick, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista McAuliffe, who was set to be the first teacher in space. The crew and their mission symbolized human curiosity and the quest for knowledge. Their tragic death reminded the world of the dangers and importance of caution in space exploration. The disaster led to significant changes in NASA's safety and procedures, ultimately paving the way for future space missions. Nipsey Hussle, a renowned rapper and community activist, was tragically killed on March 31, 2019. He was deeply involved in efforts to uplift his community in Los Angeles. His last photo, taken shortly before his death, shows him standing in a parking lot, wearing a white shirt and red shorts. Nipsey was shot multiple times outside his clothing store, Marathon Clothing, by Eric Holder, who has since been convicted of the murder. Marilyn Monroe, an iconic Hollywood bombwell actress, tragically died on August 5, 1962, at the age of 36. She was a major star known for her roles in films like Some Like It Hot and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Monroe remains a legend for her lasting impact on film and pop culture. As you look at her final photos, you can see her enduring beauty and charm, a poignant reminder of her timeless allure and the indelible mark she left on the world. On December 8, 1980, John Lennon signed an autograph for Mark David Chapman outside his New York apartment, the Dakota. This chilling event is captured in one of the last photos of Lennon alive. When the former Beatle returned home late that evening, Chapman was waiting in the shadows with a stubby .38 handgun and murdered him in the street in front of Yoko. Chapman fired 5 shots, 4 of which hit Lennon, leading to his death shortly after at Roosevelt Hospital. What motivated Chapman to shoot Lennon has never been entirely clear. Remarkably, Chapman did not leave the crime scene after firing his 5 bullets. The murderer stayed at the spot and read The Catcher in the Rye, a famous book by J.D. Salinger. He was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison and has been denied parole multiple times since. This is the last picture taken of Freddie Mercury in 1991, before he died of bronchial pneumonia resulting from AIDS. In this photo, captured by his partner Jim Hutton, Freddie stands in the garden of his home, Garden Lodge, in West London. Freddie Mercury spent his final months surrounded by close friends and loved ones. His health rapidly declined in the weeks leading up to his death on November 24, 1991. The day before he died, he issued a public statement confirming his AIDS diagnosis, a secret he had kept to protect those around him. Freddie's final act of openness was a poignant reminder of his courage and grace. As a tribute to him, you now hear a snippet of Bohemian Rhapsody, showcasing his unmatched talent during a live performance at Live Aid 1985. As we reflect on the final moments captured in the last photos of famous people, these images offer a poignant and sometimes heart-wrenching glimpse into their lives before they passed. Whether it's a candid shot, a planned portrait, or even a tragic moment just before they were taken from us, these photos remind us of their humanity and the legacies they left behind. Thank you for joining us on this journey through these intimate glimpses. If you found this meaningful, please subscribe and join us for more stories. Until next time, take care.